This Impact Wrestling review was brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Try it, and TNA will give Todd Kennelly a formal apology, return him to the announce booth, and never, ever, ever let him go again. I'll deal with you in a minute. Reasons why Todd Kennelly is better than Mike Tenay. Number 1, he's younger. Number 2, he has energy. Number 3, he has enthusiasm. Number 4, he always sounds excited to be there. Number 5, he's not an emotionless robot. Reasons why Todd Kennelly is better than Taz. Number 1, he doesn't make shitty jokes just to amuse himself when he's supposed to be putting over the product. Number 2, he doesn't argue with Mike Tenay just to amuse himself when he's supposed to be putting over the product. Number 3, he always remembers the wrestlers' names. Number 4, he always knows the wrestlers' finishers. Number 5, he always pronounces these things correctly. TNA, you fucked up. Big time. Hashtag bring back Todd. And that's all I've got to say about that. So TNA signed Quentin Rampage Jackson. The question is, what do you do with one of the most charismatic athletes in combat sports, a guy with some legit crossover appeal, but currently no quote-unquote pro wrestling experience? You put him in there with Kurt Angle. Okay, I like it so far. And yes, Rampage's promo wasn't perfect. Yes, he didn't really do much, but the stare down was pretty cool, and he did get a really good reaction when he came out. Right now, they're limited with what they can do with him. He's got to get at least a crash course at OVW or some wrestling school before they can put him in a match. In the meantime, Rampage and the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle face-to-face, that's a spectacle that could get fans excited. It got me excited. I'd like to see that as a wrestling fan and an MMA fan. An Angle versus Rampage at Bound for Glory? I'd pay to see that. Will this mean as much as Stone Cold and Mike Tyson did back in the day? Probably not. But I expect TNA may get some publicity out of this at least, though they really need to promote it more than they have if they want people to know about it, and that can only be a good thing at this point. So I thought this was pretty damn cool. Probably one of the better uses of a sports celebrity TNA has done that I can recall, and I'm already more interested in Rampage than King Mo, who has still not done a damn thing, by the way. Just saying. Hopefully Rampage will be around a little more than he is. Kind of an unexpected opener to start things off, not because of the people involved, that was nothing new, but because of what happened. Hogan books Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy in a ladder match for that night without any prior announcement or fanfare. Surprisingly, I was okay with this. Was it a page out of the Russo playbook? Yes. But once in a while, that's okay. Plus, there's something to be said for unpredictability, for spontaneity, both things that have been severely lacking on Impact for a while now, and that's probably one of the big reasons why the ratings are down so much. So if the writers want to shake things up and do more things people won't expect, I'm down with that. The next step would be opening the show with someone other than Hogan, Bully Ray, and or Sting every damn week. But the weirdest thing about this segment was Hogan. After what happened to Sting on Sunday, Hogan seemed like he was in a really good mood for some reason, which was very odd considering the man he was banking on to liberate the world title from the pussies in leather can now never compete for the world title ever again. Quite frankly, Hogan's behavior here made no sense. This might be part of the storyline about Sting being pissed off that no one came out to help him on Sunday, And we have established that Hogan has a pretty short attention span when it comes to whichever guy he thinks is going to take TNA to the next level, brother. But Hogan dismissing the Sting situation so readily just felt awkward and out of character. By the way, about the Sting thing, my pet theory is that the other babyfaces secretly wanted Sting to lose that match and be shut out of the world title picture forever. If I was in their shoes, that's damn sure how I'd feel. Hernandez beat Chavo in a Bound for Glory Series qualifier. Chavo seemed to think they both already had spots in the BFG Series prior to the match, but it turned out they were facing each other to earn one. So, wow, Chavo screwed up another promo. Gee, there's a shocker.
Yet again, I am standing before another ignoramus.
I didn't care about this match. I don't want either one of these guys in the BFG Series, but I suppose Hernandez was the lesser of two evils. And Chavo throwing that little mini tantrum after he lost was pretty funny. I don't think it was meant to be, but it was. They might as well turn Chavo heel. I mean, they're pissing in the wind trying to get people to cheer for this guy. And if this was the beginning of the breakup of Los Stereotypicos, I say more power to it.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Robbie E. comes out for another BFG Series qualifier. And he brags about the 5 points that he won in the tournament last year, which I believe was also the last time this jobber actually won a match on TV.
This alleged superstar is an unworthy opponent.
Then Samoa Joe comes out and annihilates Robbie in like 90 seconds. Exactly how the match should have been booked. Works for me. Devon cuts a promo saying he wants the TV title back.
No! No! No!
Don't even think about it, TNA. Then Joseph Park comes out to get a piece of Devon's ass, and I popped big for that when he took Devon down. Devon takes control eventually, though, and this part was really funny. Abyss's music plays, and Devon looks at the stage like he's expecting Abyss to show up.
Congratulations, you just renewed your idiot license.
Devon, Joseph Park was right there. Who did you think was going to come out? Again, I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but Devon looked like such a dumbass here, I just had to laugh.
I'm laughing at you.
So Devon goes to search the building for Abyss. What an idiot. And once again leaves Joseph Park bloodied. Well, it's nice to know that it's not just the babyfaces that can be made to look like complete morons in this feud. And they're making the Joseph Park thing so obvious now that that's what it takes to not notice it. Sting figured it out, but Devon can't? That's also pretty funny. And later, Abyss takes out Nux and Devon backstage in horror movie-like fashion. Fine, fine. Now please just let this be the last time Devon gets anywhere near the damn TV title. Babyface Mickey? Heel Mickey. I am really going to enjoy this new Mickey James. She had this wonderful pre-tape with Velvet Sky, where Velvet's trying to get her rematch and Mickey's trying to avoid it. And Mickey is so great at playing this hilariously insincere babyface. She looks like she's having a lot of fun with it, and it's a lot of fun to watch, too. And is it just me? Or is Mickey suddenly a lot sexier now that she's going bad? I don't know what it is, but damn. So Brooke Hogan put Mickey in a match against someone that Velvet neglected during her title reign. And oh man, her opponent. That's better. Taylor Hendricks makes an appearance.
Yes!
New female talent! A new women's matchup! On the basis of that alone, I love this! Fuck those fans in the crowd and fuck their Cena sucks chants! They had two sexy ladies giving them a fresh knockouts match and they didn't even appreciate it! Screw every one of you jerks!
You guys suck.
Really refreshing to see Taylor Hendricks back. Now, granted, it seems she was just there to be fed to Mickey, basically, and I don't expect it to be about much more than that. But they used her and gave her new music when they could have just used someone from the main roster. I take that as a good sign. It was a short match, and she didn't get to show very much because this was really just about putting over Mickey's new attitude. It wasn't a showcase for Taylor or anything, but for what little they did give her, I thought she did just fine. I think all that time in OVW was really paying off for her. So I got a big kick out of this, and hopefully it won't be another several months before Taylor shows up again, because the Knockout division still needs new talent. Taryn Terrell alone is not enough.
And if you're not down with that, we have two words for you. You're welcome!
Six-man tag team match. James Storm, Gunner, and Chris Sabin versus Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and Kenny King. Everyone worked really well together, and Sabin actually did some things here that I didn't think we'd see from him anymore. Plancha over the top rope, the springboard tornado DDT. I thought he'd be laying off that stuff now, but if he feels comfortable doing it, that's great. A really fun match to put over the new champions. I wish it had been longer. And I love that they didn't even bother with Los Stereotypicos getting a tag title rematch. They're moving on from that already, and I couldn't be happier about it. Main event was Jeff Hardy versus Bully Ray in a ladder match with a hammer suspended above the ring. This felt more like a no DQ match with a ladder involved because they didn't use the ladder as much as you might think. Not to say it wasn't a good match, it was a really good match if you don't mind the redundancy of Hardy versus Bully Ray again. The ladder just wasn't a huge factor in it. Also, I wasn't clear on who exactly won, because Bully Ray got the hammer, but then the match just kept on going. So that was weird. Then Hardy got the hammer, Bully ran away, Hogan tried to nail him with a hammer from behind backstage, but Brooke stopped him. That was interesting. I actually really like how they're handling the Brooke situation right now. It's not technically a heel turn, at least not yet, but she's conflicted. It's like she still has feelings for Bully, even though she doesn't like the fact that she still has feelings for Bully. It seems like there may not be an easy solution to this problem for her. It's messy and it's complicated, and I like it. It's real-life stuff, and it makes for a compelling dilemma. I just wish it were a vehicle for someone other than the Hogans. Maybe a wrestler. One that's not in his or her 40s or 50s or 60s. This show was a little weird. It kind of seemed like they were still in 8 to 10 p.m. mode somehow, where they would put mostly filler in the first hour and then do all the important stuff in hour 2. So here, hour 1 was kind of meh. Not terrible, but not earth-shattering. But then hour 2 was great. So much so that it made me feel better about hour 1 in retrospect. The pussies in leather were scaled back a bit. At least Wes, Garrett, and Doc didn't show up. The pacing was tight for the most part, and though they still need to bring back Todd Kennelly, I am a fair person. I will admit Mike Tenay and Taz were better than usual this week. I'm not saying they were good, but they were better than usual. At least it seemed like they were trying to do a good job. It wasn't like the one-night-only pay-per-views where the commentary is so bad it makes you want to hang yourself. So, yeah, best Impact in weeks. Nice job, TNA. And now, if you don't mind, I need to get to the bottom of something. So, the feud, the mind games, invading each other's channels, all the build-up to that climactic final showdown, it was all a sham. You and Terminator NJ were in cahoots the whole time. Yeah. And I suppose that mysterious person you were on the phone with all those times was... Terminator NJ. It's me. I trust last week went well.
Trust me, the best is yet to come.
Just as we planned. And are you set for next week?
Yes, everything is in place.
Excellent. This is all coming to a head.
Finally.
Yeah. Phase 2 is nearly upon us. They can't possibly drag out this farce much longer. And if we have to grease the wheels a little bit to expedite things...
Well, that's not a problem at all, is it?
I'll talk to you when it's done. And the one who turned off the lights and knocked out the British Fist a few months ago? Terminator NJ.
Indeed, now it's time to go on to our... Oh, what the hell's going on there? What
Fools.
Uh-huh. And when you both disappeared for several weeks before lockdown, you two were... At the strip club, spending all your money. Right. Why? Why do all this? Just to fuck with you. Because we knew we could. Because making your life and the British Fist's lives miserable is just so damn much fun. Well, isn't that a kick in the teeth? But why send that photo of me to the British Fist? I mean, you'd already turned everyone else against me, and you knew this was going to come to light pretty soon anyway, so why even bother?
And I think from that review, we've proven that Faulkner cannot be the leader of the
I mean, there's just no evidence to prove that he could be the leader of the... Hold on. What's that down there?
There appears to be some kind of picture underneath my door. This is really strange. You never ever get stuff like this. So, oh my god, is that in the Aces and Eights? Is that the hammer? Is that Faulkner? I mean, what the hell is this?
What's Faulkner thinking? Questions need answering.
Oh no, there's some serious stuff is going on. We defended this guy, man.
Why do we bother?
Let me see this.
Oh, God. Again with this mysterious photo. What photo? What are you talking about? What? So that really wasn't you who did that? If it was, you'd know it. Great. More mysteries. And there's something else I still don't get. As long as I've known you, you've always been a loner. Never liked to work with anyone, not really. Hashtag there can be only one and all that. And yet you and Terminator NJ worked together to concoct this whole elaborate scheme. Something that must have taken months of planning. Why is that? Because what you never knew, what the IWC never realized, is that Terminator NJ is actually my half-brother! Seriously? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just fucking with you again. You don't know. And you'll never know. Dickless.
Hold on. What's that down there?
There appears to be some kind of picture underneath my door. This is really strange. You never ever get stuff like this. So, oh my God, is that in the Ace of Eights? Is that the hammer? Is that Faulkner? I mean, what the hell is this?
What's Faulkner thinking? Questions need answering.
Oh no, there's some serious stuff going on. We defended this guy, man.
Why do we call that?
Let me see this.
Oh, God. Again with this mysterious photo. What photo? What are you talking about? What? So that really wasn't you who did that? If it was, you'd know it. Great. More mysteries.
Hashtag deuces and fours.